All right, let's talk about something that really impacts every single one of us every day: endpoint security. We're going to break down how we can protect the devices that are, and this is no exaggeration, our digital front line.
So let's just start with a quick question. I want you to think for a second about the devices you're always on. Your phone, your laptop, the computer you use for work. What's the one thing that really connects them all? Besides you, of course. Well, they're all gateways. And you know, every single gateway needs a lock.
And that, right there, is the whole idea behind an endpoint. An endpoint is basically any device that hooks up to a network. The easiest way to think about it is like a door to your digital house. It's how you interact with the world online, but it's also where all the threats try to sneak in. So yeah, securing these doors, it's not just a good idea, it's absolutely essential. Okay, so if our devices are our digital homes, then vulnerabilities, well, they're the cracks in the armor. They're the unlocked doors, the open windows that attackers are just constantly looking for. Let's take a look at what these weaknesses actually are.
So let's talk about a classic, but still incredibly effective vulnerability. It's called a buffer overflow. To really get it, just imagine you have a mailbox that's built to hold, say, 10 letters. Now, what if an attacker sends you 1,000 letters? They cram the box so full that the lock actually breaks, and all those extra letters spill right into your house. In the digital world, that spillover can literally overwrite critical instructions, which lets an attacker run their own malicious code on your device.
And if you think that's just a technical detail, check out this number. In just 1 year, a pretty staggering 44% of all documented Microsoft vulnerabilities could have let an attacker escalate their privileges. Think about what that means. It's like a low-level intruder finding a way to become the building superintendent, getting the keys to the entire kingdom. And once they have those keys, they can steal your data, install even more malware, or just lock you out of your own house completely.
Okay, so we've talked about the weaknesses, right? The cracks in the armor. Now let's talk about the moment someone actually tries to use them. This is the attack. This is how they get in. This message is just chilling, and it's the reality for anyone who's been a victim of ransomware, which is one of the most devastating attacks out there. This isn't just a threat, it is digital extortion, plain and simple. These messages are specifically designed to make you panic, to create a sense of urgency, claiming the price will go up or your files will be gone forever. It's all about pressuring the victim to pay up.
And this is how an attack on just one device can spiral into a total catastrophe for a whole network. A worm is a particularly nasty piece of malware. It's like an intruder who gets into one house and suddenly finds a master key that unlocks every single door in the neighborhood. It just spreads on its own, replicating so fast it can eat up all your network resources as it jumps from one endpoint to the next.
All right, that's enough of the scary stuff. Seriously. The good news is we have some really powerful tools and strategies to defend our endpoints. So now, the tone shifts. We're moving from threat to empowerment. It's time to talk about how to build your digital fortress.
So how do we start building this defense? Well, it begins with the single most important habit: patching. In the old days, systems would actually give users the option to ignore security updates, which was, let's be honest, a recipe for disaster. Today, thankfully, the whole process is automated. A vulnerability gets found, a patch is created, it's tested, and then it's deployed automatically. This closes that open window before an attacker even has a chance to find it.
And beyond just patching, your operating system, the OS on your device, has defenses built right in. Think of it like this. You can close and lock any unused digital doors just by disabling ports. You can create a guest list for your home with application allow listing, which means only approved programs can run. And with Sandboxing, you can let a new, untrusted app run in a kind of secure, isolated playroom where it can't touch anything valuable in the rest of your digital house.
Now, this is a really important difference to get: the difference between seeing a problem and actually stopping it. A host intrusion detection system, or HIDs, is like a security camera. It watches everything and it'll tell you if something bad is happening. But a host intrusion prevention system, a HIPS, that's like having a security guard. It doesn't just watch, it actively steps in and blocks the malicious action before it can do any real damage.
Okay, let's talk about something we all click accept on probably every day: cookies. It is so important to know the difference here. A first-party cookie, it's actually helpful. It's from the website you're on, and it just remembers your settings for that one site. But a third-party cookie, that comes from someone else, like an advertiser.
Its whole job is to follow you around the internet, tracking your behavior across a whole bunch of different websites. Understanding this is really key to managing your own privacy online.
And that brings us to our final, and maybe the most important section. Security isn't something you can just set up once and then forget about. It's an ongoing watch, and you are the one on duty.
If you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. Security is not a product you buy. It is a process you follow. It's this combination of automated technology like patching, smart configurations like allow listing, and just your own vigilance that keeps that digital frontline secure.
So, I'll leave you with this question. We've gone over the threats, we've gone over the defenses, everything from patching to sandboxing. Now that you have a blueprint for building your fortress, what is the single most important security setting you are going to check on your own device tonight? Think about it. Thanks for joining me.